How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs beat writer on SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. You know the deal. Thank you guys once again for showing up, regardless of when you're stopping in. I really do appreciate it. So, I've been seeing a lot of buzz going around on social media from fans, the Chiefs Kingdom, as well as other outside sources. Sources being like predictions. There is a prediction being thrown around that Kareem Hunt will not make the roster for this 2025 Chiefs season. And I'm going to get into it, but it's just a initial thoughts. It's a little mind-boggling to me, and I'll explain. As we know, the Chiefs do need some help in the running back room. You don't know what you got with Isaiah Pacheco. You used to know what he had, but now it's kind of, hit or miss. He got hurt last season, and when he did return, he didn't look to be that kind of big presence. You've got Brashard Smith. He's unproven yet, but he's got a high potential. He's a young guy to where I think he could find his way into this running back room, especially with the speed depth that he provides, as well as his strong hands. Carson Steele is another guy that is an option to use. Still young, doesn't have as high of a ceiling, in my opinion, as Brashard Smith, but still a reliable guy. He showed it last season in either punt returns, kick returns, any carries that he had. He's going to give you his all that he can to make the roster. But when it comes to the decision of cutting Kareem Hunt to saving cap space, I don't think that it's probable that the Chiefs will do that, and here's why. So ever since that Kareem Hunt has been a Kansas City Chief, he got drafted by the organization. He's come back after leaving and has had more success in a Chiefs uniform than he has any other uniform. While the kicker to this all is that he is starting to get older, with the running back room starting to get way younger beneath him. So if he wasn't producing, I can see why they would cut him. They brought him back on a 1-year deal to give added depth to this room. Who knows what happens to Pacheco, but if there's a cut casualty that has to be made, I do not see it being Kareem Hunt. And I'll eat my words if it's true, if it does happen. I think that Kareem Hunt brings a ton of veteran leadership to this Chiefs running back room. And with a room that is so desperate to find their new guy, you've got to keep the guy around who's made it work for the time that he's been given. Kareem Hunt is the last guy and the last running back the Chiefs have had who has reached over 1,000 rushing yards. And I know that the Chiefs don't utilize their running back as often as other franchises do, i.e. the Detroit Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, or David Montgomery. Or how about the Philadelphia Eagles with Saquon Barkley? Even now, the division rivals in the Las Vegas Raiders have a running back that they will likely primarily use to get the ball moving on the ground, as well as Omarion Hampton. There's a bunch of running back guys that are filling in these needs that is becoming such a big need now that if you don't have a guy who's right there ready to go yet, you got to keep a guy like Kareem Hunt on the roster to fill that role for this time being. In terms of cap space, the Chiefs don't have a whole lot. Getting rid of his contract doesn't necessarily create that much more cap space. While they could use it elsewhere, I think that going into the OTAs, the training camp, they're going to give a guy who's been with this roster, been with this franchise, a chance to stay on the team. If there's a guy that's going to get cut, in my opinion, And just based off of the track record, at least in the last few seasons, it's going to be Elijah Mitchell. While I know that general manager Brett Veach did talk highly about that, they liked what he possesses, being Elijah Mitchell. He hasn't played in over a year, and when he did, or the last time he played, his production was decreased. They've been able to take players like this before and turn them back into a player that they could be. But if Elijah Mitchell doesn't show this kind of growth in before the season, I don't see him being a crucial need that needs to be kept around, especially with how the running back room consists of already. I wouldn't be surprised, and this is all honesty, I wouldn't be surprised if Brashard Smith found his way later into the season of becoming the main running back for this crew. Would have to happen through injuries or lack of production. But I do think that Brashard Smith has a role on this roster, and whether or not it's not be this year in the handoffs to him from Patrick Mahomes, whether it's through kick or punt returns, he's going to be a crucial spot. I understand that the Chiefs Kingdom believe, or at least fans that I've seen on Twitter, on X, rather, Facebook. I know that the running back room is a dire need that they need to address. They did shortly in the draft with Brashard Smith, but cutting a guy like Kareem Hunt just doesn't make sense to me. He was the best running back on the roster last season. He's been a top running back that this franchise has seen ever since getting drafted. In fact, he cracks the top 10 in all-time rushing yards for this franchise. While I know that his previous years were better than it was last year, he was still a reliable guy. He's a good teacher for these guys, and I know that he's starting to get old. I'm reiterating at this point, but it's just true. I don't think that without warning, without seeing if there's any lack of production from Kareem Hunt this like the further into the offseason, OTAs, training camp, if there's a lack of production, sure, that can be a debate, but we haven't seen it yet. Kareem Hunt, as of right now, has no reason to lose his job in Kansas City. He and Pacheco will be fighting for more carries. And if the OTAs in training camp do favor players like Elijah Mitchell or Isaiah Pacheco to where they could be utilized very heavily, I still don't think that Kareem Hunt is the odd man out. I understand that he makes the most out of the running back room, but I think that the experience is invaluable compared to what the rookies or the younger players can offer you from a statistical standpoint. That being said, guys, that's going to conclude the podcast for today. As you can see on the ticker down below, you can check me out on Twitter, X, formerly Twitter. I got to get used to saying that. At Dom Minchella. I post and repost every single day. You can also check us out at KC Chiefs on SI. We are closing in on 300x followers. Super exciting time as we continuously get closer to the 2025 campaign. Make sure you drop us a follow. We post every day. We've got a great group of writers covering the offseason, and we will continue to cover this until we get the 2025 campaign. Always, Chiefs Kingdom, remember, be kind to one another, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.